So I hope Biden wins. I just think he'd be easier to work with. He's a little bit less derogatory, more open-minded. And I was thinking of childhood trauma, depression, and all those things that could stem into abuse that we need to treat through public schools. We need to diagnose the families and get them help. And I was thinking, my growing up, I was never afraid of being homeless. We consistently did not have much money. My mom had agoraphobia, my dad had bipolar 2, and there was no medications. So we just had to suffer and really didn't label anything. It was just a lot of stress and my dad trying to make a living. But my granddaddy was a doctor, so he was in the VA hospital. He didn't have a lot of money, but we just never feared of not having a place to live. We had a little house, and we had a lot of books. Education, both my parents went to college, so we had a lot of books and a lot of knowledge, just the unpredictable mental illness that was stressful. And then in my high school years, I made friends with a multimillionaire family, and oh my God, it was so much fun. We could just blow money and have private airplanes and fly to New York City with a babysitter. And so the freedom and just being able to breathe, and like it fascinated me. We could go through the Hardee's drive-through and not even think of spending $2 on a biscuit, because I grew up in a family that's like, that's a lot of money, $2. And I also found out that money's not going to make you happy, because they were very terribly miserable a lot of the time, no matter how much money they blew or parties they had or expensive clothes or Mercedes they wrecked. And it was really a nightmare in some ways. But over the years, I've looked at the positive and negatives of all that, and I've learned agape love is very important. But then as my adulthood and my marriage failed, I did go homeless, and I did live on the streets. And because of the mental illness in my family, they couldn't step in and help me, because I'm kind of like the bad kid, which is a true escape from any kind of responsibility because of their mental illness. And so I'm working on science class that we can support and love each other and figure out what to do so people don't have to go homeless, that they get the support they need. But I think about all the poor little children that do go homeless or have the stress. It is a stressor and leads to abuse. Money does. So we need to work on this. We actually need a new money system. And I think the artists around the world, that we could plan and come up with something fair for people. I like the Gates. They have so much money and they want to do so good around the world and things like that. And I do think the key is performing and doing things for the world and educating and things like that. But I think we can get rid of poverty if we can. It's going to be something complicated. We can work, but it is a goal to make sure that everybody gets the schooling they need so they have something productive they can do in their life. And I look at the Gates Foundation and I look at these poor people that are suffering so much. And I think of what all I have. I have a roof over my head and I have food to eat. So there's no reason, and I have eyes to see. I can see. I live in the United States of America, so why would I be so miserable when I look at foreign countries and how they suffer? And I think the more, like, the gestalt of world peace gets out there in the media, and we all put our brains together on how to achieve the positive actions for each other instead of negativity, because the negative measures of destroying things could be turned into positive. And we could have I think we could turn the page. Just like, back in the old days, there was a plague. And we were stupid. We didn't know what it was, and we took measures like leaching and things like that. And I guess in some ways we're still that way about, like, say, the COVID virus. But education, true education, and how to help each other and how to have good lives, whether or not you're good at calculus or whether you're a good hairdresser, to make our world more beautiful. And I say all children are artists. Let's not quell that. Why would you tell a child he's not beautiful and he doesn't do beautiful drawings for him? Why would you quell that? Why would you say you can't be in theater? Why can't you enjoy theater? Why would we not teach theater? I mean, it goes along with mathematics. And when I see Dave Matthews, who's very popular and very successful and also participates in lots of charity agape love all over the world, has a very good vision. His dad was a physicist. I can see and hear that in some of his music. I can see his dad's influence in the way he writes music. I just can. You guys have a good day.